Hello.
Hi, welcome Caldwell Tanner to Tavern Talk. This
Ooh,
is this is the first remote connection. You're all the way out in LA currently in your new home.
that's
We
right.
will not be revealing your address at this point.
Thank you.
It'll be in the Patreon on the
Right.
but
I guess,
we'll,
yeah, like extremely good geo-guessers can maybe, figure out the species of tree behind me and reverse engineer it from
there's
there.
that one guy that can do that online. Have you seen his videos?
I've seen him. He's out there. And please, if you're there, don't use your powers. Use your powers for good.
Yes, but Caldwell and I have known each other for since college at this point, so over a lot of years.
Uh-huh.
And yeah,
Quite a few many, yes.
quite a few
This
many.
is fun because I think we met initially at a radio station at our college.
The
So
radio
this is
station.
this
Yes.
is the full circle moment for us.
I didn't think of it that way. No,
Hmm.
picture it, me, long black hair, lip ring, skin tight jeans in a very conservative, formerly Baptist college.
Hmm.
And I was just like, why doesn't anyone want to be my friend or talk to me? And it was just like, oh well, you were kind of setting itself up for the hard mode at that point.
Right. And picture
Um,
me wearing just the biggest khakis you've ever seen
they
and
weren't
a
that
polo
big.
shirt. They were voluminous. As and like it was somewhat the style of the time. And I guess like honestly it's come back around. So like I was
Did you
ahead
do
of
the
the
pop,
ahead
the
of the curve.
multiple pop collars?
I never did the multiple pop. I might have popped on occasion. The popping was certainly going on. I think popping was more of a high school thing for us.
Yes.
This was, we were getting in. It was almost it was like still the early 2000s, so it was definitely viable. But we were like getting into the 2010s at this point.
Yeah.
We graduated in 09, so like the days of the popped collar were coming to an end.
I remember because I was very like anti-establishment,
Hmm.
anti-prep, if you will. But I wore a lot of band T-shirts, and the minute I realized like I was different was there was this one girl, I forget her name. I was wearing a Coheed and Cambria T-shirt, and their logo was the yellow dragonfly. She's like,
Of course.
Michael, I just love your yellow butterfly T-shirt. It's so beautiful, and I was just like, it's dragonfly, and
Excuse me.
but it was also just like that was my first because I'm from New York, but you're
Hmm.
from Tennessee, so I think you were
Yeah.
used to that kind of like good old Southern kindness where it was
Hmm.
like there could be some like jabs in between. I was not used to that, so I'm just like,
Right.
why is everyone being so nice about this? And I learned like,
Yeah.
oh, this is their way of like kind of saying like you're a little odd. Why is
Hmm.
that? Like we see that you're odd. Why is
They're
that?
right. It's like a kind probing to be like,
Yes.
Hey, what's wrong with you?
No one would ever say that directly, but
No, but there's
um
there's the polite way to say it. Yeah, and it's because they don't know about the second stage turbine blade, and they don't understand the key works and how this all relates.
exactly.
Hmm.
No, but it was a formative time, and I think that that's one of the things that connected me with you. I remember distinctly is you were, I forget who you were. You living with one of our friend Mike? I can't remember.
Hmm.
I remember I went over to your dorm and you were playing Final Fantasy 12, and you and I
Oh
just
yeah.
sat for like a good 2-3 hours just talking about like the best
The
ways
gambits.
to gambits. Yeah, I was gonna
Hmm.
say junctions. So it was like, no, the best gambits, and I was just like, no, like it's like we're just trying to figure out the most effective way to do this. And I was like, okay. And then were you the one who got the Wii? Did I do the Wii with you?
So it was our other friend Mike.
Yes,
We got the Wii, and I think I'm trying to remember if you came with us because we went
you
to the
went.
Target, we waited all night,
Yeah,
and then we hung out at like the IHOP the next day, and then we found an abandoned classroom at the campus, and we set up the Wii in there and played like Wii tennis for like 4 hours straight.
yes. That's what I joined you for the Wii tennis part because I was writing a
Hmm.
paper, and I remember going down there. And I was like, okay, this is what I need to like distract myself. But
Right.
it was like finding those people at Wake. Spoiler: we went to Wake Forest University.
Right.
Wake was, I got a great education.
Not a funeral. Talking about our college.
But it was very different in kind of just being like finding people that were on that same level, being like, okay, I play these types of video games, or I'm not afraid to wear that weird T-shirt, or I'm not afraid to draw cartoon characters as you did.
Hmm.
And it was, that weirdness is just, I think we were attracted to each other.
Yeah.
And we found that group, which was really my saving grace, at least there, because I was just like, okay, I'm not the only one, not the only weird one here.
Certainly. And I remember I was like definitely coming out of my shell at Wake Forest a little more, because I
you
definitely
were in
came
the
from
comedy troupe, which was a big thing.
Totally. But I was definitely like, I came from like a very preppy background, and I wasn't popping my collar, but I certainly had collars on.
Yes,
so.
as you're supposed to. But you growing up, where did you? Because I know you're a big artist, and I've always enjoyed your artistic abilities. I've been following them at length. You don't.
Thank you.
You're not It's not your main form of income now, because you are a D&D podcast extraordinaire. But
right,
you still get to draw every once in a while, right?
Totally, yeah. I do some of the like merchandise and stuff that we do for our show. I handle that, and I handle like the art directing for it as well. We just did a big show at Radio City, and we did like a little like animated intro for it, and I got to do like the kind of art directing and overseeing of that. It was directed, of course, by my friend Brooke, who did an incredible job. But it was really fun just getting to like, dip a toe back into the art scene. And like I've been trying to like keep my finger on it a little more. But honestly, it's been nice having it be less of my job, because it does mean I get to like just doodle a little more and have a little more free time to just draw idly, which is something I've been trying to get back into.
Who was the first fictional character you drew, and why was it Sonic?
So it was Sonic. Actually, you know what? I think the one that predates Sonic was Garfield. I had one of the like Garfield.
It's the same
books.
Shared eyeball.
The conjoined eyeballs.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess Sonic has like the one. I mean, it's honestly like two differing schools, because you've got like the conjoined eyeballs, the eyeballs side by side, the sort of like figure 8 eyeball, and then you've got Sonic, who has the M-shape eyeball, where like he's got one eye, two pupils that are conjoined with like an M brow. And there is something, there's something about Sonic's design where, like, despite the fact that he just has like, kind of like a goopy white egg yolk of an eye, like just smacked onto his face, it is pleasing. And it's like, there's something like comforting about it. And I don't know what that is. I feel like I should have the visual language for it, because that's a big part of my job. But we're coming to this together. We're discovering this now. We're like in the crypts uncovering the
I think it's
Rosetta Stone here.
It's the color story of just being like why Mario and Sonic were always like, I remember printing out, when my dad had like an industrial printer, I would ask him to print out pictures of like Mario and Luigi, because I'd be like, I didn't have like, I wanted artwork on my walls growing up. So I'm like, print this out. And it's just a picture of Mario. And it's just because it's very pleasing to the eye of being like red, blue, brown. Like I idealize like iconography of these creatures, these characters,
strong silhouettes.
Yes, but Sonic lended himself to a lot of fan hedgehogs or fan animals, I believe, as people grew up.
Yeah, hedgehog OCs. And I never had an OC for I never like inserted myself into the world of Mobius. I feel like maybe that was like a step too far for me at the time.
Maybe.
It's like I never wanted. I feel like that to me felt like a step too far. I would be crossing a veil of some sort. But I certainly had my own Digimon OC, so there's that.
Oh, okay. Well, who was your Digimon partner, idealized partner? Who was like
my Digimon partner was? I really wish I had the drawing somewhere still. You know what? I do have a Post-it note here, so as I talk, I'll draw like my best remembering what they looked like. I think, but it was like a little, creature with like a mask.
Oh, you made up your own Digimon?
Yes.
Okay.
It was like I was, because it was just me. I was a self-insert trainer, but then I had like a little Digimon companion.
You just didn't get to go to camp that year and get sucked into the digital verse.
Exactly. Yeah. I went to the wrong camp, I guess.
No, I just wanted to be Mimi. Like I just wanted Palmon and the pink cowboy hat.
God, Mimi's style was on point. Yeah.
And I always bring this up when we're talking about Mimi from Digimon, is that canonically she is a first responder at 9/11. Canonically, between like the first and second seasons, like when they grew up, she moved to New York, and there's like an email. She's be like, she was noted as being, her and Palmon were there helping to distribute supplies and food to the people of New York City. So
right. And Biyomon told Sora not to get on the plane. So like
exactly,
it's all tied together. It's really like all of them are involved.
they had that whole Final Destination though with Biyomon, unfortunately. So it didn't work out too well for them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, certainly one of the villains in Digimon could be the personification of death, following them all around. So I mean, it definitely tracks.
I'm sure they will branch into that into the umpteenth season. So were you more of a Digimon instead of a Pokemon?
You know, I love them both. I do have, this is a drawing. I can't remember what the name of the character was, but you can see it was like sort of like a little like creature with like a mask, kind of like the mask from Jim Carrey's The Mask, but with wings. And then they would digivolve, of course, into essentially Anjumon, but wearing a mask and a polo shirt.
Yeah, like any good Southern boy would.
Exactly. But yes, I think I was definitely, I don't know what it was about Digimon. I think like the design spoke to me a little more because they were like a little more they just had like sharper angles, and also like the way that the kids dressed felt very aspirational.
Yeah, a lot of goggles.
In a way that they were like, because they all wore gloves. They all made fashion choices that, like, you know, children aren't really allowed to do because your parents are buying your clothes.
Yes.
But it's like seeing a cartoon where it's just like, okay, clearly, you know, another adult has dressed them, and that adult being the character designer. But to me, like a 10-year-old child, I'm seeing this and being like, holy shit, like these kids, like their style is on point. Like,
they were pretty on point.
They're all wearing gloves. Did they all coordinate that? Were they going to gardening camp? What?
Sometimes fingerless gloves.
Sometimes fingerless gloves. And then I guess it was
hardcore.
Is Matt. I don't know what his the actual Japanese name is, because I was a child, so I was watching the subs like a freaking or I guess I was watching the dubs.
The dubs.
Like a scrub. But yeah, Matt had the like the turtleneck with the sleeveless turtleneck.
Sleeveless turtleneck, yes. Mm-hmm. That is a fat, but he was very understated. Just green, just that and pants
and just jeans, yeah.
And angst. He had a lot of angst. I remember that.
I do feel like, you could see that guy walking around Bushwick today, just like no question.
Mm-hmm. His hair might be a different color, like a different style a little bit, but he definitely still feel for the young girl whose mom wants her to be a flower arranger.
Right.
I don't know why I know so much Digimon lore. I think I liked it more than Pokemon, only in so much that they the social drama of it all. It felt very X-Men like, where it's just like the interpersonal relationships between the kids actually mattered, as opposed to like, the very surface level stuff that you'd see in Pokemon and be like, oh, there's an actual through line with these kids.
I think it's the reason we like Persona games, where it's just like, what if all of your friendship statistics were represented with like physical numbers?
I may do that every once in a while to myself, everyone, just to see like where I'm charting on my wheel of success. No, I think we share a lot of similar interests with video games, and that we're big into RPGs, we're big into kind of specifically like weird Japanese games. With you being a youngish father, do you find that you have time to play games as much as you'd like?
Oh, not at all. You have to be more picky and choosy. I got really excited. I downloaded the new Final Fantasy Tactics re-release, thinking like, oh, this would be a great like bedtime game, because I played on the Switch. But like the thing I forgot about that is it's got like the densest blocks of text.
Yes.
In it. So
you're falling asleep.
I get through like half of a battle and then I'm just out. But just to bring it back around, since again, this conversation started with us talking about meeting in college and going to buy the Nintendo Wii and playing Nintendo Wii for 4 hours. I'm getting a vasectomy in like 2 weeks, and I'm so excited because I'm going to get to play video games for like 2 days straight. Because like, you have to like, the doctor recommends that you just sit down and relax and ice yourself. And it's just like, well, I'm not going to go against the doctor's wishes. I'm going to play Expedition 33 for 2 days straight for 48 hours.
Finally.
And, maybe I'll finally actually get to beat it. So to answer your question, I think the older you get, you have to, your time gets limited, but it gets more meaningful, and I think that I will remember this time in my life vividly, and it will be marked by pain, but also by sweet success as I finally, figure out what the paintress is up to.
All good things, I can tell you that. No, there's no issues with the paintress whatsoever.
She seems great.
She seems great. Best of luck with your vasectomy.
Thank you so much. And then you've heard it. This is news to the world.
Exclusive.
Letting you know. This is an exclusive.
Caldwell will be shooting blanks. So, well, now that you have time, I mean, other than like being a father, you are traveling literally the world playing D&D, which I have to say, like, I've known you for a while, and it's just, one would imagine, like, based on my interest and everything, like, I would be super like angry or jealous or upset that you get to do this. But I have to tell you, like, I'm not just spouting nonsense here. Like, when I see you get to go up on literally Radio City Music Hall, I feel like I'm up there. I am so fucking proud of you every single time I see you succeed. You've worked really fucking hard, and it's just it's so great to see other people celebrate you for like how silly and hardworking you are. That it's like, it's nice to see that.
Thanks,
but
buddy.
It must be surreal, I can imagine, to be like, I'll bring my husband. We love Roy, but he does not know anything about D&D or nerdy stuff. And he always asks, he's like, do we have to like catch up on the podcast? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, no, it's going to be a one shot. He's like, what is a one shot again? And it's just like, like, oh no, it's the same characters. He's like, the same ones they played last time or the ones they're playing. Like, he'll ask all these questions. He's not always getting it. And I'm like, we went to the Radio City Music Hall show, and then there's just people dressed up as the character you created and spouting the lines that you said, and Roy's like, what's going on? And I'm like, he's got fans. They've got fans. What is that like to be like, I've created this like character, I mean, that you are still consistently playing? You've played multiple campaigns at this point, but you keep coming back to your original characters. I think that those are the most salient and kind of like fully formed at this point.
Well, I mean, just by the nature of time, I feel like they've been around the longest. They've been out there the longest. This is, of course, Beverly Togold and the Band of Boobs from campaign 1 of NADPOD. I think, we've played other characters at live shows occasionally, but I think for us, it is just very nice to be able to just get back into those characters. They do feel the most comfortable. Like they are a well-worn pair of jeans or sweatpants or something at this point, where it's like it's very easy for us to get back into them. You talking about Roy makes me think that we should have some sort of like partner primer that we print out for live shows, where it's just like, here's what you need to know, just like a little zine or something for people that like don't know D&D and also don't know these characters, and then maybe just like
for your wife
Sudoku in the back,
because I know she's not listening.
She's not listening, but she's been to enough live shows at this point that she just like and unfortunately, because she lives with me, she's just absorbed so much of the campaign by me being like, I don't know what to do. Like, we're in hell now, and I gotta like make some big decisions, and we're all feeling pretty nervous about it. So I think that she's been a very good sounding board, honestly, for all of the character decisions I've had to make. So she, whether she wants to or not, knows a lot about D&D.
So how long have you been doing this now? How long has Beverly existed at the very least, or at least you've been?
Since I think the first episode was February 2nd, 2018. I can't remember if that was when we started the Patreon. I think that was our first episode. Yeah. So since 2018, so like 8 years is how long we've been doing the show. So like that character is about 8 years old, which is pretty crazy to think that like, it's older than, children. No, older than some people. Yeah, older than my kids. And that's why I love him more.
Well, yeah, and he's obviously way more attractive, and he's got a 401k now, so
exactly, yeah. He's level 20, so they can talk to me when they get to level 20.
What is it like to? Because that's kind of how I like to run my campaigns. Is my rule is that once you're done playing a character, they exist in the world. Like it's all in the shared universe. But you can always come back to them. They'll never die in my hands, but if you take them back, they could die in yours.
I gotcha.
So it's like kind of, I will never be the bad guy. I mean, I will always be the bad guy, but never kill your character off screen. But I like to kind of keep the characters kind of always living. But have you guys ever had that, like, I can't remember if you've ever had like a crossover with like Murph ever playing Beverly, or it's always been like you guys playing your characters?
It's always us playing our characters. In campaign 3, we kind of hinted at what those characters were doing because that takes place in the future.
Yes.
And we've toyed with the idea of maybe like going back and playing those characters again. It would have to be sort of like a time skip campaign where like Beverly was like an adult. So like it would be a big shift. But I think personally what we really like and like the reason we like doing these live shows is it is almost like a Valhalla for these characters in a way. It is like their final reward where it's like you did the hard work and now you get to just be goofy dumbasses for an hour every once in a while. Like,
so the most recent one at Radio City was on the same time as Coachella, so it was Faychella. Is it, when you guys do these live shows, is it usually like a conversation you have before with Murph through DM, or is it just kind of you kind of show
like,
up?
We show up and then we text Murph and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Wrote the show on the airplane. Here's what it's gonna be." And he'll like, usually the way that live shows will work is he'll like clue us into kind of like the premise, so that we at least have like some idea of like what we're gonna be up to. But usually it's like pretty not under wraps, but it's like we like to keep it surprising. So like we knew that this one was going to be Faychella, and then we also knew that we were going to play the secondary set of characters DM'd by Emily, which are the Bonfrères, or colloquially as they're known, the hot boys of summer. So we knew a little bit more going in than we normally do, but yeah, we usually keep it pretty buttoned up, or at least the DM keeps it pretty buttoned up, so that we can just have more fun, like figuring it out as we go.
It's good to know that it's nice to know that even at that level of live play with D&D, the DM is still writing it the night before. Because I kid you not, I have to play later tonight at 7, and I have like a rough outline of what's going to happen, and I'm hoping for the best.
I mean, the more I DM and the more I play, I feel like sometimes over prep is real. Over prep is real, and it will kill you. And I've like been slowly learning that time after time. But it's tough, and like nobody has yet invented the perfect tool for how to like display DM notes, and they never will, because it will never. To do that, you would need to fully map the human brain and organize the chaos within. But yeah, the best you can hope for is like a Google Doc with a table of contents.
That's literally what it is. I have my Google Doc of used names as well as unused names for all my NPCs that I'll introduce, and then like a bevy of different like names for establishments, and just like names of specific things I might like use, of like a ship name. I don't know, like I can pull from that.
Can I give you some names right now? I'll give you a free name.
Please. I'll write it down.
I really like in the new Dungeon Master's Guide, they put in some new NPC names. And they have like a bunch of different like lists. So you've got like common names, monosyllabic names, guttural names, sinister names, lyrical names, and whimsical names.
I've seen these, yeah.
Yeah. So give me a character, and I'll make up a name for them.
Well, spoiler for tonight. The middle group that's moving west, they finally got a ship, and they're moving over the Sea of Stars. They've got like a rowboat or like a little sailboat, but they're going to be going up against like warships and stuff like that. Very One Piece-esque type of growth. So they're going to encounter their recurring pirate villain. Who's not with Faye, but she is, I don't know, I'm thinking either she's going to be tiefling or high elf, I'm not sure, but definitely some sort of like femme fatale classic pirate woman.
Okay, so since it's a pirate, it needs to be a little whimsical but also sinister, maybe, is what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking, how about, let me hit you with this. Ooh, actually, okay. All right. Scandal Jollywind.
Scandal? I like Scandal. I don't know if Jollywind is the right one.
Scandal Goldjoy.
Scandal Goldjoy. I like that.
Okay. You do not have to use this at all.
No, well, this is funny because this was going to be, so you're the first person that I've had on Tavern Talk that hasn't been one of my players. So one of the things that I was going to do was all my quote unquote non-players, I was going to ask them to help me create an NPC that would exist within the world.
So we're doing it.
We're doing it. It just happened naturally. But yeah, it's just like this idea of like, this is a collaborative effort that, you know, like I want to look back, and even if this person only appears in one episode and they kill them, great. At least I know Caldwell helped create it. But yeah, tell me about Scandal Goldjoy.
Scandal Goldjoy. All right. Well, she's. So, do you have a name for her fleet or her ship, or do you come up with that as well? Okay.
The Goldjoy.
They say Scandal Goldjoy. I mean, to me, that implies sort of like, you know, gaudy, extravagant, but also kind of like Goldjoy. To me, makes me think of like a golden circus of some sort, or maybe even like they're like golden clowns. So I think that there is maybe like a maybe not a full clown theme, but maybe it is more of like a Cirque du Soleil sort of vibe.
Very acrobatic.
Yes. So they've got like aerial silks that they hang, you know, because normally pirates will like ride down the ropes or something like that, but they're always going down like aerial silks and poles and stuff like that. So maybe it is mildly erotic as well.
Yeah, I can see it. Maybe she's Tabaxi.
Whoa! Oh, so lithe. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Tabaxi could also. I mean, like a because you were saying tiefling before, right?
Yeah.
Tiefling is perfect for a pirate ship, though, because like I mean, this is we you know, well let's just like let's just like connect our brains even further. They put Nightcrawler on a pirate ship, and it worked great. Yeah. So I think that like having a tiefling on a pirate ship is fantastic because they can like grab onto the rope or the mast with their tail and kind of like lean out. So I think that either of those are a fantastic choice for the Goldjoy crew.
I just imagine her. Like, she has horns that like are hooked like this, and she just rides down the rope like this on her hooks, just like fully like hooks it in.
They got like a whole like zip line set up, and all of the tieflings are just like zipping around on it. That's really fucking rad. We're onto something here.
Yes. And so what the name of the fleet is the Goldjoy fleet?
I mean, like, it feels pretty good, right? Goldjoy fleet, or like, or it could be like the I mean, if you want to go more in the sort of like Cirque du Soleil route, but keep the Goldjoy angle, it could be like, you know, the Gold Silk, or like the Jubilant Sun or something like that.
Oh, I like the Jubilant Sun.
Yeah.
It gives I'm writing this all down. Okay. I like it because it gives the idea that it's like it's a safe ship, but in reality they just want your gold and they don't really care.
Well, they have to. I mean, they need the funding for their next show.
Yes,
because they're traveling from port to port, putting on these brilliant performances. But like, how are they going to afford these performances? How are they going to afford all their costumes and aerial silks if they don't?
The silks are the most expensive parts.
The silks, they really. I mean, because you got to like. I don't know where the silkworms are made in Faerun.
Let's spend another 30 minutes really getting down to the nitty gritty about this.
Let me pull up the map. Where can they possibly grow silkworms in this place?
Do you tend to, like me, get deep into the lore of fantasy realms like this?
Oh, I think that for me, as witnessed right now, like the thing that I start with, and the thing that always gets me hung up, is coming up with like the cool name. I love to come up with like the name, like the cadence. Or even like, you know, the funny name that like still, you know, like you, or like just like what's the funniest version of this name that I can throw at my players. Either one of those I feel like is kind of what I get hung up on a lot. And then like from there I'll be like, okay, this is a cool name, but why do they have this cool name, and how does that tie back to like, you know, 4,000 histories of lore?
No, I think I'm usually either I like to start at what they look like or what their name is, and it's just kind of like it just kind of expands upon that. But it's the idea that you want this new creature, this new person to exist within the world naturally, but also make a mark on all the other thousands of people that you're creating on this. But it's hard to keep it all straight in my head. That's why I'm like I'm building a wiki, so it's just like I can reference it and my players can reference it, but it's just great. Like I'm it's tough because in my mind I need that visual component.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like staying away from the AI, like image generation, even though
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, it would be so easy just to like plop it in there so I know what they look like. But I'm like,
But I
nope.
feel like for D&D, you just like you don't even need that because like everyone's brain capacity is so limited already just
True.
by like everything else that's going on. So like the beauty of DMing is you give them like one little piece, and then they can kind of extrapolate from there. Like for Scandal, it's like she probably has like gold tips, or like even like hook attachments on her horns or something like
I
that.
like that.
Like it's very fun to kind of come up with a like what is like the one little detail. You kind of get like 3 slots. You're like, what's the visual detail, what is the like vocal quirk, and like what is the personality flaw, and like you just like have those, and then you just, at least for me, then I just kind of like from there, once I've got like those 3 tenets in place, I just poop out details as we play.
And they come out naturally like any other player, any other character. But my biggest issue has been kind of the vocal tick, or kind of just like the accent, if you will. Is
Right.
I all my players know this. I fluctuate between my own accent, a bad Cockney accent, and a bad Southern accent. And like those are the 3 that I can pull it out at any time. And then usually the character will fluctuate between one of those 3.
Yeah.
I'll try and do like I did pull out a weird Russian accent for some like villainous woman that they came across, but I'm like, it's less about like getting the accent and being like remembering what accent I gave these people.
Right.
I'm like, I can't remember if I gave them a weird little tick or something like that, because I'm not writing all this down. And so, do you have any advice for remembering that?
I think honestly what I'll do when I'm like introducing a character is like I'll literally, if in my notes, I'll just have a parentheses that says like Nadja from What We Do in the Shadows, or
like
Scar
what
from The
character they're
Lion
based
King,
off
or just
of.
like,
Okay.
yeah, I'll literally just have kind of like a vocal reference that I'm like pulling from that I know that I can like hit. I mean, sometimes it's that complicated. Sometimes it's just like, heroic, confident. I kind of like usually have a little like adjective tags that I like to put on there for
Okay, that's
characters.
good. Yeah, I'll definitely steal that. I mean, that's what half of D&D is just stealing from other people.
Yeah. So wait, tell me
Yeah.
who you think for Scandal Goldjoy. What voice are you thinking? Can I get a sample? Can I get like a preview?
Put me on the spot.
I'll set you up. Hold on.
No.
Miss Goldjoy, we're out of silks. The silk supplies have been depleted. The men, they've been fashioning beautiful gowns out of the silks. They've built a drag runway in the middle of the galley, ma'am, and we've got no silks left for our performances.
No silks?
No
How dare
silks,
you?
madam.
This is where it gets like your ability to pull that out is very impressive. And I'm just like, now I'm just picturing her surrounded by just a bunch of old halfling men that just are obsessed with building her like beautiful gowns on a regular basis.
Oh yeah.
Like they're all just like sewing for her. I'm like balancing this like desire to go like serious but also silly at the same time. Like it's hard because I'm like, I want it to feel impactful and I don't want it to always feel super silly. But it's like, it's also like I want to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I think it's hard for me to be in this world knowing that like I may kill one of my player characters and have it still be silly. I mean, like, I know I'm not trying to say that it's not, but it's, I know that Not Another D&D podcast tends to err on the sillier side of things.
Totally.
But there's some serious moments peppered throughout.
I think, honestly, I mean, like, this is something that big TV shows do a lot too. And like, people die in really silly ways on Game of Thrones, and it's still sad.
That's true. Yeah.
like you could get, people are just getting kicked by horses all the time on that show.
Yeah.
And like, you could, especially like Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I feel like there were some real silly deaths up in there because people would just like, you'd like fall off a horse or get impaled or something like that.
That's true. I didn't think of it that
tragic.
way. Yeah, I think it's, if the death is important, I guess it should have some weight, but if the death is not that important, it can be silly.
Totally.
But I think it's also just the personality sometimes. It's like, I did kill off an NPC in my pre-stream, and I made my players cry, and I'm just like, well, he wasn't that important. It was like he was a
His
narrative.
stats kind of
It
suck.
sucks.
So
he was narratively built just to die. Like that was his whole purpose. You know that, right? They're like, no, but he sacrificed himself. I'm like, yeah, because you guys couldn't beat the Red Dragon in that keep.
Yeah.
So
did you really think that Honeyfoot Suckletit was going to make it all the way?
No, he was one of my joke characters that I was just like, yeah, he's going to die, because it was a paralyzed goblin paired with a blind ogre. So he was like the cavalier fighter, and she was the blind monk, but he used her as his mount, and he had like a giant crossbow on her head. And they were called...
No, your players are right. I'm crying.
Well, they were called Buy-In and Large. And they were just like, they were part of a traveling minstrel group, and he got...
More like Crying and Large. They were trying so hard. They were making the most of the cruel lot that life had thrown at them.
Don't worry, he came back to life after they defeated Asmodeus or the Morrigan. I forget what happened. Something happened back then. But it's like you realize like it's that whole artistic thing. Is like when you create something you share with with your players, it's like, oh, this isn't mine anymore. And if they really do want it, it's just like, well, yeah, let's just let them have this person come back to life or enjoy their company at the very least.
It is true.
It's not what I planned, but
and that's, I don't know, it's the fun thing. It's just like kind of getting to create a story primarily for just like 4 friends, 3 to 4 to 6 friends that are just sitting right in front of you and being like, oh, you guys, you liked that, huh? All right, yeah, we can go with that.
Yeah, give me more.
Right.
So I asked you to have a D20 ready.
Got it.
I'm going to ask you to roll it. So I have these D20 questions. I have 20 questions on my phone.
Oh, I love this.
What you roll is what I'm going to ask you.
Okay. Shall I roll?
Please.
Do the questions get harder and more introspective as you go up to 20, or easier?
They become post-verbal, so I just like say a noise, and then you have to guess what I mean.
Yeah, they become a color dance.
Yeah,
that's a 9.
A 9. What is your? This is definitely not optimized, but I love it. Build or play style. Like,
ooh, okay.
So my example of that is, hey, I want to play that. Like the joke character I had in an old campaign was I did it for the bit, which was Lyra Underhill. She was a divination wizard / rogue, which was like I didn't really need that combination, but I needed her to be. She was a gnome, so I needed her to be the tiny medium at large.
Right? Yeah.
Because she was on the run. She was a medium, and she was tiny.
Doing it all for the bit.
Yeah.
I think for me, it is always like a lot of times it is playing a multi-class that is not optimized, but it is just for story reasons or just because it seems cool and almost like, designed to get in your own way a little bit. Like, I feel like this is almost like something I haven't gotten to do yet, but I really want to. I'm trying to remember. There was like one combination where I was like looking it up online and everyone was like, don't do this. I think it was it'd be like monk warlock or something like that, or like bard. I mean, barbarian obviously comes up a lot, and that's actually a viable one. But I'm trying to remember the specific combination I was looking at. I think it might have been rogue warlock. No, that one's pretty good. Anyway, there's a couple of like multi-class combinations that are just like kind of no-nos unofficially. And I'm obsessed with like playing them one day. I'm just gonna, like, while we're talking, look up worst multi-class combination and see if I can remember what it was, because I do think that
I like the underdog. I remember it brings me back to when I first played World of Warcraft. I specifically looked up what was the combination of race and class that was least played, and it was a troll priest. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be the thing that nobody else is.
Yeah.
But that was me, being a high schooler who was petulant. But
okay, I mean, like, obviously barbarian and any caster.
Barbarian wizard or something like that.
Yeah, but I feel like those seem very fun to me. because it's like it does. I like the idea of somebody like almost at war with themselves a little bit.
Well, I think that's the joy also of like what Baldur's Gate was able to bring us, the game, Baldur's Gate 3, where it's just like it didn't put that restriction on class multi-classing, that you could choose whatever you wanted at any level, which was like, oh, I get to see what this looks like. I don't have to have the perfect right stats for this. Are there any other combos other than the bar wizard?
I'm seeing a lot of like monk paladin, which like they might have actually changed that around. I think that now with the 5.5e ruling, I'm pretty sure you can play a monk paladin and just like have like divine punches. I think they maybe changed the martial stats.
Yeah.
So like honestly, I just played a monk in a recent campaign, but like monks are very fun. A divine punch monk seems pretty fucking rad. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really played many wizards at all, but I feel like I want to play a wizard that is combined with something martial at some point, because that seems fun to me.
I mean, I have a spell blade, a spell singer or whatever it's called in one of my campaigns, and blade singer, that's what it is. I haven't had any coffee today. But it was weird because I was telling in past episodes, it was I put them both, her and my artificer, on the same team, and they're my two high int characters, and they're my two frontliners because they're the most like able to withstand like those melee attacks, which is just so different than what I expect. So that a spellblade seems like a fun choice to kind of get the best of both worlds. But Ahmed, who plays Safina, he rarely does like the traditional spell casting. He's usually like front and center, so I can understand that like it's a hard balance to strike. It's like you're not going to be always casting fireball, or he's always casting shield, which is the worst fucking thing. I'm tired of it.
It's rough. It's so good. But just know every shield cast is a spell taken away.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think of it that way.
The DM's mantra.
I will keep forcing it. We'll have you roll the dice one more time before we...
I would gladly roll this dice one more time. A 10, one higher.
10. If you had a signature spell or ability in real life, what would it be?
Oh, in real life.
Either from D&D or just in general.
You know, in real life, I think it would probably be like a cantrip or a low-level spell that would be sort of similar to Silvery Barbs, where it would like cause you to trip or stumble, but then like it would be almost like, I'd call it karmic trip, maybe.
Okay.
Where it's like you make a mistake or an accident, or like you literally fall prone and lose your turn now, but then you get advantage later on or something like that. Like that is kind of how I go about my life, where I'm bumbling around and constantly bumping into things. I don't know if you can't see it, but like right off screen in my here, you know what? I'll tilt it up real quick.
Especially
there it is. All right.
Wow.
See that lamp up there?
Yeah.
I hit my head on that lamp every day. Just every day I hit my head on it.
Caldwell's also 7 feet tall.
My little office area used to be, and the previous owner had it as like a dining room area, and now it's my office. So I just bang my head on this lamp every day. But I think that because I do that, I'm just like knocking my brain loose just enough that I get advantage on other stuff. So I think it's like, you know, it comes around. I hope. I have to tell myself that I do.
I mean, we are talking to you. You are currently in a coma, and this is all just a fever dream.
Right.
You hit your head too many times. So I've come to visit you.
That's why I haven't shaved.
So what have you got going on next? I know you just went around the world for another D&D podcast. Any other tour stuff going on for you?
We're going to London in September. I'm very excited about that.
That'll be fun.
I love going to England. It's going to be a blast. Gonna hopefully eat just like the biggest breakfasts I've ever had. They've got their breakfast figured out over there.
Yeah, and their Sunday roasts.
Yeah. Oh man, God, I love. Every once in a while, I would go over to like a pub in the UK, and it would be like, you know, just the middle of the day on a Sunday, you go in a pub, and all of a sudden, like they've just got like a full like buffet of meats out, and it's just like they're living so
hot,
right,
cold in between.
Yeah. You know, no place is perfect, but like their meat and breakfast game is so strong, and I feel like we've lost our way in this country a little bit.
Pop-Tarts aren't kicking it.
No. But yes, we're doing that in September. Right now we're doing a really fun campaign. Murph is DMing like a cyberpunk 5e campaign called Gangs of Neo-Galateron, which is airing currently. So if you want to listen to that and hop on the Patreon for the short rest, you can do that. Patreon.com/NABPod. But it's been really fun. Speaking of like unoptimized, this character is pretty optimized because Murph let us take a lot of extra feats for them. But I'm playing a like walking ATM machine essentially named Adam Rom. He's like a big bulky box robot who wears a Hawaiian shirt and has a gun arm, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, please check that out if you want more D&D, which I imagine you do.
I will be checking it out, and I will be stealing things I like from there.
Please. It is true. Like this D&D is like meant to be stolen. It is just like, it is a communal table because like everyone, every DM I know is just struggling, and like you just need that like last little thing to fill your table, and it's always out there for you. So please, come and partake.
Yes. And then you've got other stuff hidden in the horizons for you personally. I can't wait for you to share those things.
Hopefully, we don't have a firm date yet, but something new coming in June from me and some of my friends. So it's gonna be a summer of Caldwell, and I hope I haven't oversold how much people like me. So
they like you somewhat.
That's what we're working with right now.
Where can they find you on the interwebs?
Oh, okay. Other than NADPod, which is just patreon.com/NADPod, I am at Laldwell on Instagram and at Caldy on Blue Sky. And I am pretty inactive on both, but I do go on there a lot. So I'll probably see you if you mention me.
I say follow if you want the occasional doodle of him drawing.
Right, yeah. My proof of life drawings that I post every 6 months to be like, I remember how to do this.
You're talented, no matter what they say. Thank you so much for getting on here with me. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
I know. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm like so pumped for the show as well, man. This is like so cool, and you're like, you are juggling so many plates, and it's just really impressive to watch.
I think what you need to know about me is that I always like a little project. I always like having something to focus on. So this has been good for me just to kind of have something outside of work that is something to work on. But
it's,
you know, I have other announcements in May or June as well. So we'll see how those things go.
But yeah, listen, I totally get it. It's really awesome just to have like another world that you can be like, let me think about you know, conflicts going on there. Let me think about the logging trade in this imaginary place.
We'll leave it on this note, but I was like, I don't know how often you experience this. It's an acting term called the bleed. You know, it sounds like some sort of like sci-fi super weapon.
Right.
But it's that idea of where you're voicing your character, expressing your character through your own, you know, person. And then who the character is and who you are start to bleed together. And that is an effective thing for a lot of actors, but also for a lot of therapy, for people to use therapy, is to be like, I get to express this version or this aspect of myself.
I totally get that. I mean, I play D&D like a wet paper towel. It's just always just fully bleeding together.
It is very embarrassing. But no, I think that's where it's like, it's exciting to be able to get to do that and to provide that in so much a sense, especially in this crazy world. It's like, let me just give the fantasy of succeeding or winning or being safe or protecting my friends, so that it feels, so when I get to do it in the real world, it doesn't feel so foreign, I guess.
That's a very good point. Yeah. God, well put.
Thank you.
You're good at this.
Thank you. I'm just pretending. I'm faking it till I'm making it. Well, thank you so much, Caldwell. I hope your vasectomy goes swimmingly.
Thank you.
I'm not going to let you live that down.
Right.
But yeah,
check it out live on Twitch.
Yes,
that's actually next week on the show. We're going to be doing that instead.
I'll be doing it.
Yes, exactly.
Blindfolded.
It's the Goblin Guys crossover.
Thank you so much. Give your love to your family. I love them so much, and I hope to see you soon.
Likewise. Yeah. Have a great one, man.